How is it going, everybody? So this is actually a clip that I record after I finish making the video. I just want to say I've been playing Siege for a long time. I've learned a lot of things and shit like that. So I just want to put most of that stuff that I learned into videos and to help controller players get better, because I know it's hard as fuck to play Siege on controller, and like it's so much more preferable by PC. I think I might switch one day, but here I'm just here to help, you know, understand how to play Siege controller, the mechanics of it, what sensitivity you should be using, and very helpful tip, use my sense. Trust me. Alright, how's it going, everybody? So this is the first time that I've ever done this. I'm doing a little bit how to get better at Siege
Eliminate all
on
hostiles.
controller. And I know that it's hard as fuck to get good at controller Siege. And basically this is not like those, oh, aim for the head type shit, even though you should. It's not one of those videos like Drone More or something. It's more of like how to aim correctly in controller, because I see people kind of not doing it correctly. So this is a video that I wanted to put before my last clip, because my last clip kind of got shut off because I don't know how to use the video thing on my PlayStation, so I kind of screwed that up. So this is gonna come up once I bring it up in the next clip, which got canceled. So I was bringing up shit about sensitivity, and like I really advise you guys that you get either 100 vertical sensitivity, or at least maybe nothing below an 80. I'll tell you that. Get at least 80, but I do recommend getting 80 out of 100. 100 is the most, which is the best, and that's the best that you should get, in my opinion. And the reason for that is that you're gonna substitute this fastness with a slower ADS time. Alright, now what a lot of people do is that they like to have a faster ADS time and a slower vertical, no, why did I say that? Hip fire sensitivity, and that is wrong. And I'll show you guys why. Now, hip fire aiming I'm going to talk about in the next clip, but it's what you usually do if you had an angle grip, and what you should be doing with a vertical. And the reason why you should use an angle grip is because it helps you perfect your hip fire ADS, accuracy. But basically, if you had a quick angle grip, you could flick to the angles fast, and then you'll really control your sensitivity with your hip, your beginning shots, let's say. So I want to put my hip fire, look at the middle of my screen, ADS right there, ADS right there, ADS right there. I see someone, ADS right there. I'm going to show you an example. Now in the next clip, I'm not going to have the angle grip. But yeah, this is basically how you're going to play, or how you should play. If you don't look like this, you're doing it wrong. Alright, that's all I'm going to say, and then just get good by doing more jumps. A lot of people are ignoring this, but what you should do is either ADS and time it correctly, and you have to do it quickly because you're swinging, or you can bring it up there and then ADS, which is pretty much the same thing. So look, I'm going to aim it at this angle, same thing. Now the only reason why you would hip fire first is if you had like an angle grip, you could zoom in fast. So then this is also helpful because of flicks, because let's say someone's over there and you can't use your ADS to flick around the room, or you can't do this. You have to flick fast, and you have to ADS right on point. See, like that. And this is the advantage of having a high sensitivity, high hip fire. You could flick anywhere, and with slow ADS, it's easier to control. So, if I need to control my recoil, and control around the hallway, let's say you're moving, it's so much easier to control when you're ADSing because it's slow, and you could still do it fast. too, because of your hipfire mixed in. Alright, so here's a mistake that I ran into when I first started playing. I would have 180 sens, which is high, which is good, high hipfire sensitivity, but what I also had was my ADS sensitivity was at 50. And the reason why that is bad is so much more difficult to aim. Here, let me show you why. It's so much more difficult to aim even with 50 ADS sense with hollow. Like, I've tried it before, it's a pain in the ass. I would do so much T-hunts because I thought, oh, that it'll help. It did, obviously, but so what I'm talking about here is when you have your hollow out, it's harder to control the movement more accurately, especially in long range. And if you're zeroing out an angle, I guess it would be harder to flick or move with that hollow. And people think that they could combat that high ADS sensitivity by lowering their hipfire sensitivity. Now that's I've seen that in a lot of people, and I'll tell you this is bad right now because you need your ability to flick like that at every angle. That is much more important than a high, what's it called, ADS sense. Now because I had such a high ADS, it was so difficult for me to control it, and I just thought do more T-hunts because that will help. But no, it didn't. Like, it got me like to be really good, but like at a certain point it just won't work anymore because the stick drift, controller gets old, and like the thumb just isn't made for that. So if you lower your standards, you bring it down to 35, it'll be just fine as long as you have a high hipfire sense. You'll make it easier for yourself to get better. And like, I know people say, oh, just stick with it, just stick with it. Well, that's for PC. For controller, it's different, because our hands have limits and they can't move that good. We could always practice. So let's get on to practicing. Oh, first of all, actually, I want to show you how to approach angles. Now, a lot of controllers fuck this up because they're on controller and they suck and they just want to give up. And on PC, this is really easy to do. You know, when you're sticking by an angle, you do it tight, so then if there's someone like that you see, you can just move on to them, shoot them. Also, playing claw is so much better because you get to crouch, or you could bind a key to crouch like L2 or something. I've heard of people doing that. So you basically just want to move along the angle without getting off the angle, if you know what I mean. Like, try not to slip up. And like, I know this is gonna be a pain in the ass to do, but you just gotta keep doing it. Like when you're walking around the map, you know, during prep time, you just walk around like this. You know, you'll be on defense. You'll usually have hollow. So just walk around. I know this is a little bit hard, but just try it. You know, and if you can't keep up like this or something, then go slow. Go very slow. Like this. Go slow. As long as you can keep up, then go a little bit faster. Then you'll get faster, and then you'll get used to your own speed, and you can do that. You could flick between each angles comfortably because you have a pretty low ADS sense, which is perfect. You know, it's not like fucking uncomfortable or some shit. It's hard as shit to move. And then, you know, obviously do the same thing with ACOG. Also, I'm going to show you, if you like to crouch and shoot at the same time, it's going to be hard as shit if there's like someone standing still and then you're shooting and you're crouching like this. Like, this won't cut it, because you're going to be hitting the head and the hips at the same time. And then what if they move to the right or left? You're going to be shooting with possibly like over their head or under their head if you're just crouching. So what you got to do is that you got to control your movements. So either you start off by not crouching at all, you know, just move around like this, and then when you shoot, you could keep it at their head level once you're perfect at that. So if you see someone, aim at their head, you're good. So then what you want to do, if you want to start practicing for it, is that when you see a T-on bot, you crouch and then shoot, and then you crouch back up and try to keep your crosshair at the head level. you know. So let's say someone approaches you and then you want to kind of swerve them, you know. You could crouch but keep your crosshair in the same point. So crouch while firing like this, and then maybe you could lean too, you know. That helps. So crouch. So if I see someone from standing up, I could crouch down, say right there. Or if I'm crouched and I see someone over there, I could stand up while keeping my crosshair right on his head. This is very important too, crosshair placement. Now, I will see that people will go like this and then move their thing to the edge of the thing. You know, I know it's really hard to listen to me talk, but just stick with it because I don't do this shit. I don't do YouTube. So, fuck, I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, okay, so you want to ADS on every object without missing. That's pretty much it. Because like, let's say you see someone, you know, you're running, and you shouldn't be, you should always be ADS, but let's say you are, and then someone's right in front of you. Oh shit. You know, you can just ADS right on the head. So, what you want to do, obviously, it's quite obvious how to do this. You just practice by, if you see like, I don't know, a head or something like that, you just ADS and try to get it there. Let's say you're facing there, try to get it there. Let's say you're facing here, try to get it there. Now, you shouldn't be doing this, alright? You shouldn't be starting off like this and then ADSing. The reason why I said that is because let's say you're facing this way and then somebody pulls up. You could either ADS quickly, or you could do that. So, alright, how's it going, everybody? This is me from a different clip. I just want to clarify some things that I've said about crosshair placement. Now, more specifically, how to basically initiate your fight. So I know I've told you guys, you know, aim with the hip first. Now that's what you should be doing, right? Now, for angled grip, this is what you do. You wait till it reaches the door. But let's say you have a slower ADS. You don't have to necessarily, but it's very important to do that just to train your angle accuracy, if you will. Like your accuracy to flick onto certain angles. Hip fire, I don't know what to call it. Hip fire shooting, I guess. Hip fire aiming is the best way to do that. And the exception is because, let's say you know someone's at this door, and you don't want to expose yourself and then, you know, obviously ADS. So, you know, you can time it, of course, like this, you know. Let's say you know someone's on that little angle over there. Got that wrong. Exactly. So you can ADS, which will work. Or you could, you know, you wide swing. You more of like, you run out, you know, works better for your 3-speed, and then, you know, ADS, because it'll fuck them over. Let's say I was being wide swung on, so I'm holding this fucking angle, right? And if someone swings right at the edge just to shoot at me, they're fucking dead. And let's say you go ahead and wide swing me. You run past my angle, and I would like fucking get off caught. Sometimes, you know, I would maybe switch, but by the time I've switched, you would have, or the person would have already, you know, fucking ADS, because they're that good. If they can't make that shot, then they're gonna fucking die. That's how it works. If you're gonna wide swing, you gotta make that shot, otherwise you're fucking dead, pretty much. Especially to someone that's holding the angle. Now let's say they're not holding that specific angle. Let's say they're running through, you know, like fucking brainlessly. So let's say they're... Damn it, bro. So let's say they're... Thought I hit the head. So let's say you're walking through brainlessly, right? Running through, and you don't. It's hard to set an example on this. Just give me a moment. Okay, so you're running through. Let's say I'm holding some weird ass angle here for some reason. It'll be good to just ADS right on the angle, and then expect me coming. Now, if you know they're holding an angle on you, that's when you don't want to do this little fucking ADS shit. Now, I know it's very hard to keep up with me once again, but you have to listen to me, alright? This is very important. So let's say there's someone over there, right at the angle, right? He's aiming at that corner. He knows. Whatever. Oh, I'm not gonna die. Okay, so let's say he knows I'm about to swing him cause intel or whatever, some shit, drones. If I swing like this, I'm gonna fucking die. Alright, I know I'll have the fastest... how do I explain it? The fastest opening time. Because, you know, you're timing it with the angle. But the thing is, he's already holding that angle. So you're gonna get your head chopped off. What you could do something sneaky like this. Then maybe you could do this, and then re-peek below. Or you could wide swing it, but you gotta make sure that you hit that angle. Now sometimes it won't always work. Again, like what I said, just keep practicing your ADS. And especially against angles. Let's say you're gonna go against an angle, across an angle, you want to ADS right on the angle. Alright, so then what you can do is that you can start to move along it, you know? Or you could swing, just swing to the angle and move along that, move along. Now again, it is very important that you keep the edge of your crosshair to the edge of your crosshair to the edge of that wall, so you minimize the parts that you're exposed to. So you want to keep it slow, but you could do it fast, but you gotta learn how to control it like that, like me. But you want to start off slow, but you never want to go slow in an actual gunfight. You just want to practice slow, because if you go slow in a gunfight, it might work, or they'll just fucking one tap you. That's pretty much it. You gotta move fast. So you move fast, still stick your crosshair to the angle. You know, you gotta anticipate where there might be, as I've seen in YouTube videos. Same thing with, what's it called, ACOG, or the 2.5 now. And then, you know, this is also very important. Alright, so let's say you encounter an enemy right there. You could either just shoot back at him while going towards the angle and back at cover, or you could do what fuckers like me do, is that you lean spam and you fucking crouch spam. Because if you can lean spam and crouch spam while still keeping your crosshair on the fucking head, like, you're golden. Like, you're gonna win a lot of gunfights, and they'll think you're a little pussy, but I mean, that's just how you win. So yeah, that's how you encounter that. Let's say you're expecting somebody to go through there. Stick to the nearest angle, you know? Use your angle memory to stick to that angle. And then maybe this angle. That's not a good one. Let's say someone's coming through the teller's door. Stick to this angle. And then yeah, sometimes people can be expecting somebody obviously going through the angle, so boom, you can get one tap just pre-fired right on that location. So maybe if you think they're smart, you could go right in the middle, it's unexpected. You could go this angle, you know. But like, as you start shooting, you want to round towards the angle, you know. Like that. Also, this is very important for just anyone who plays Siege. You gotta know the map. You know, you gotta know where the best fucking angles are, the best spots to aim, you know, shit like that. I don't know what I just said, but basically the best spots that you can go through.
3 hostiles remaining.
Aimed a bit off there. Oh wait, this is a great example. Let's say you want to swing someone with fucking ACOG. You could peek it slowly, you know? Or if you want to be a fucking crackhead, you could do this. You could wide swing like a fucking crackhead.
Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful.
Okay, so I know the video just ended, but I just want to add a couple more things,
Eliminate
and I
all of the
actually wrote down
terrorists.
a list. I'm using a different operator, because why the fuck not? Remember, whenever you're playing, make sure you have your recoil control, like, on point. Not like what I have. Like, I don't know why, but I do this every game, and I think you guys should too. Just, like, shoot, like, a couple mags in the wall and try to get your bullets, like, straight as fuck. If you can't do that, then you're not gonna win a gunfight, or at least a long-range gunfight. It's if someone's over there, right? Let's see. You wanna shoot, then go back to the next cover. Now the reason why you want to do that instead of just like fucking going Rambo, shoot all your bullets that you can, is because you're a still target. What did I just say? You're a target that's still. And you either want to be moving, you know, go peek, then go back into cover, or, you know, peek that shit. Still not good with the recoil, but you can go back to the next cover, you know? Or you could do that shit moving up. So let's say pretend this is cover that actually protects me, you know? You can move up, next cover, up. Like, I also want to feature this. How do you kill people in rooms? So first I need to find my handy list. Talk about awareness and angles. Alright. So let's say, you know what, this would work better if I was on a different place. Alright, so I'm talking more about awareness and angles. So let's take for an example, alright? It's obvious shit, like, don't drone obviously. You know, like if you're right here, you know someone's near that shit. Don't pull out your drone or camera, because they're gonna jump out because they're fucking crackheads. So more than that. More than that. Let's say I'm pushing this big wall right here. You know, you want to make sure that you have this whole room cleared out first, because you don't want any fucking runouts. You know, this wall breached and they're just killing you. Shit. You want that wall breached, and then you want someone to hold that angle for you while you push. Now let me explain actually pushing here. So there's two ways you could go at it. You could take your drone, find some intel. Oh, I know he's there. Then I could either swing where I know he's at, or you could swing how do I say it? Near the angle. Like you could either swing, like, let's say, bro, I'm just out of words. So let's say you know he's at sandwich and you're right next to it. Well, what you can do, and sometimes what he'll do, is that he'll swing from sandwich. So he knows you droned him. He's gonna run and he's probably gonna peek you. Alright, some people do that, some people don't. So you gotta be prepared for that. You know, ready for a peek, then move up. And you have to be expecting him at sandwich, you know. Slowly do it. Make sure that when you're approaching the angle, that you can react if you see someone right in front of you. Like that. You know, if you want to be there faster and you don't think he's gonna peek you, you could just sprint through. And like that. Problem is with sprinting through, I want to talk more about movement here now. Problem is with sprinting through is that they can hear you easily, and like sprinting is loud, so they'll know that you're around, you know, that spot or that spot. Alright. So enough about that. Let's talk about droning without intel. Now, droning without intel is something that you're usually gonna do. Is if you don't use your drone in the first half, so you only have one drone, then you use your only drone, and then you lose that shit. So now you have no drones. You're at the worst position ever. You want to keep your two drones first of all, and you want to preserve your drone. You see someone, you know, you could either push, you know, waste your drone just for that quickness, or you could bring your drone back if it's valuable to you, and then you could push accordingly. Now, you want to drone close to where you're gonna push. So, like, so it's instant basically. So if you know someone is around the area, push right away. Now, if you want to preserve your drone, right? You see someone's at the area, bring your drone back. You obviously hear him run away, or he's definitely gonna run away. Now you know he's not there. Now you don't have any intel at all where he might be. You know he's around the area, but you don't know exactly. So you could either use your drone more, like back here. Now it's very important having intel. Alright? Instead of just fucking freeballing it, you know, running through that angle, that angle, that angle, you're gonna get fucked over by so much. Better to drone, you know that part's clear. This part. Now droning far away is actually bad what I'm doing here. You should have been closer, because let's say, oh, I'm all finished droning. Someone could have come through metal, I don't know, some bullshit ass thing, and then maybe as I'm running somebody can pull up with the worst timing ever, just pull up while I'm running and I'll get swinged. So you always want to be careful, you know, you're running through the area that you know, and then you always got to be careful. Let me pull out my handy list. I know I talked for a lot there, but I really hope that you caught on. Let's see. How wide swinging should work. Okay, yeah, so I put this in here because I don't think I was clear enough on how wide swinging should be. So how wide swinging should work is you know how I've said before, you should do this, you know. If you think they're there, you sprint by. But a true wide swing, a good one, would be you ADS, then you know you start shooting him. Then as you're shooting, you're moving from right to left or left to right, you know. So you see someone over there, wide swing the fuck out of them. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, because it's gonna be a pain in the ass for someone to shoot someone moving. And it's going to be easier for you to move and track onto someone. It's just how it works. If you're moving and you could track onto something, that's easier than somebody like trying to track you. That's all I wanted to say. This is my first video ever that I've ever like ranted about something. Just like stuff on the top of my head. You know, I've never done YouTube, so I just want to at least share my ideas, all my experiences, what I've learned from playing Siege. Anyways, please leave a like on this video just because I put in 20 fucking minutes, alright? And it'll actually get it out there, which I think is very helpful information, so please like it.
Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful.